Yes.
Unbecoming. He was a sex offender.
Yeah. Do I regret the fact that he has quite obviously conducted himself in a manner unbecoming?
You won't believe what Prince Andrew has been hiding for decades. This secret is so explosive that palace insiders are calling it the end of everything.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful messages of support and for your understanding.
The DNA test results that just dropped will make your jaw hit the floor. What happens next will shock you to your core.
I think it's probably too soon to tell and too soon to say, but obviously pretty gutted about the decision. We thought it was going to go.
Royal experts are saying this could be the biggest scandal in British history. You need to see this before it gets taken down. When rumors begin to swirl around members of the British royal family, they rarely stay quiet for long. In the age of social media and 24-hour news cycles, whispers can quickly become headlines, and headlines can reshape reputations that took decades to build. Prince Andrew, the Duke of York and second son of the late Queen Elizabeth II, has found himself at the center of numerous controversies over the past several years. But recently, speculation has emerged about a different kind of scandal entirely. The suggestion that Prince Andrew might have a secret child has captured public attention in a way that few royal stories have managed to do. Unlike political scandals or business dealings, the idea of an unknown heir touches something deeper in the public imagination. It speaks to questions of responsibility, truth, and the very nature of what it means to be royal in the modern world. To understand how such rumors gain traction, it helps to look at the environment in which they spread. Prince Andrew's public image has been significantly damaged by his association with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. His 2019 BBC interview, widely regarded as a public relations disaster, marked the beginning of his withdrawal from official royal duties. Since then, he has largely remained out of the public eye, appearing only at private family events and maintaining a low profile. However, staying out of the spotlight has not protected Andrew from continued scrutiny. In October 2024, reports emerged about his connections to an alleged Chinese spy, adding another layer of controversy to his already tarnished reputation. More recently, in October 2025, he made the significant decision to relinquish his royal titles, including the Duke of York title he had held since his marriage to Sarah Ferguson in 1986. The announcement came after mounting pressure from multiple directions. New revelations about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein continued to surface, including emails that suggested he had remained in contact with the convicted financier longer than he had previously admitted. At the same time, a posthumous memoir by Virginia Giuffre, one of Epstein's accusers who died by suicide in April 2025, was scheduled for publication, promising to reignite public interest in Andrew's past connections. In his statement announcing the decision to give up his titles, Andrew said that discussions with King Charles and his wider family had led them to conclude that continued accusations against him were distracting from the work of the monarchy. He emphasized that he would continue to vigorously deny the accusations against him, as he had done consistently throughout the years of controversy. Against this backdrop of ongoing scandals and public relations challenges, the emergence of rumors about a secret child represents yet another potential crisis for both Andrew personally and the royal family as an institution. Such claims, whether true or false, have the power to generate enormous public interest and media coverage, particularly when they involve DNA testing and scientific proof. The nature of modern media makes it almost impossible for such stories to remain contained once they begin to circulate. Social media platforms allow rumors to spread rapidly across global networks, while traditional news outlets compete to provide the most comprehensive coverage of developing stories. In this environment, even unsubstantiated claims can quickly gain momentum and take on a life of their own. Royal watchers and experts have long noted that the monarchy's traditional approach of maintaining silence in the face of controversy has become less effective in the digital age. The strategy of neither confirming nor denying rumors, which might have worked when news cycles moved more slowly and the public had fewer sources of information, can now appear evasive or even suspicious to modern audiences, who expect transparency and accountability from public figures. The specific nature of paternity claims also makes them particularly challenging for any public figure to handle. Unlike other types of allegations, questions about biological relationships can potentially be resolved definitively through DNA testing. This scientific certainty removes much of the ambiguity that often surrounds other controversies, creating pressure for clear answers, rather than carefully worded statements or legal settlements. For Prince Andrew, the emergence of such rumors comes at a particularly vulnerable time. Having already stepped back from royal duties and recently given up his titles, he has fewer institutional protections and less public goodwill than he might have enjoyed in the past. His previous handling of controversy, particularly the widely criticized BBC interview, has also raised questions about his judgment and ability to navigate complex public relations challenges. The broader royal family also faces challenges when dealing with such situations. While they can distance themselves from Andrew's personal controversies to some extent, they cannot completely separate themselves from a member of the immediate family. King Charles, in particular, must balance his role as monarch with his relationship as Andrew's brother, making decisions that serve both the institution of the monarchy and his family. The public's appetite for royal scandals shows no signs of diminishing, particularly when they involve questions of secrecy and cover-ups. The success of documentaries, books, and television series about royal controversies demonstrates the enduring fascination with the private lives of public figures who are supported by taxpayer money and expected to uphold certain standards of behavior. Legal experts have noted that paternity claims involving public figures often become more complex than similar cases involving private individuals. Issues of privacy, public interest, and institutional reputation all come into play, creating challenges that extend far beyond the immediate question of biological relationships. The involvement of DNA testing adds another layer of complexity, as it raises questions about consent, privacy rights, and the limits of what the public has a right to know about the personal lives of royal family members. The timing of such rumors also matters significantly in determining their impact. Coming after years of controversy, and at a time when Andrew's public standing is already severely damaged, new allegations carry the potential to cause additional harm to both his personal reputation and the broader perception of the royal family. The recent decision to give up his titles suggests that palace advisors are already concerned about the cumulative effect of ongoing negative publicity. As these rumors continue to circulate and potentially develop into more serious claims, they represent another test of how the modern monarchy handles crisis management in an era of unprecedented media scrutiny and public accountability. The outcome may well influence how similar situations are handled in the future and could have lasting implications for the relationship between the royal family and the British public they serve. The emergence of someone claiming to be Prince Andrew's biological child represents a development that goes far beyond typical royal gossip or tabloid speculation. When such claims surface, they bring with them a complex web of legal, emotional, and institutional challenges that can reshape public discourse and force confrontations with uncomfortable truths that powerful families might prefer to keep buried. Understanding the nature of paternity claims requires examining both the personal motivations that drive individuals to come forward and the broader social dynamics that make such revelations possible. In most cases, people who make such claims are not seeking fame or financial gain, despite what critics might suggest. Instead, they are typically driven by fundamental questions about identity, belonging, and truth that have shaped their entire lives. The decision to publicly claim a relationship with a member of the royal family represents an enormous personal risk. Such individuals inevitably face intense media scrutiny, public skepticism, and potential legal challenges. They must be prepared to have every aspect of their personal history examined and questioned. The emotional toll of such exposure can be devastating, particularly for someone who may have spent years wondering about their true parentage and family connections. In the case of claims involving Prince Andrew, the challenges are magnified by his already controversial public profile. Anyone stepping forward would be entering a media environment already saturated with negative coverage of the prince's past associations and legal troubles. The public's perception of Andrew's credibility and character would inevitably influence how such claims are received and evaluated. The legal framework surrounding paternity claims involving public figures is complex and varies significantly between jurisdictions. In the United Kingdom, the legal system provides mechanisms for establishing biological relationships through DNA testing. But the process becomes more complicated when it involves members of the royal family. Questions of consent, privacy rights, and public interest all come into play, creating potential obstacles that would not exist in cases involving private individuals. DNA testing technology has advanced significantly in recent decades, making it possible to establish biological relationships with extraordinary accuracy. Modern tests can determine paternity with confidence levels exceeding 99%, effectively eliminating the ambiguity that once surrounded such claims. This scientific certainty has transformed the landscape of paternity disputes, making it much more difficult for biological relationships to remain hidden indefinitely. The psychological impact of making such a claim extends beyond the immediate claimant to potentially affect multiple families and relationships. If someone believes they are the biological child of Prince Andrew, they must also confront the reality that such a revelation would impact not only their own life, but also the lives of Andrew's acknowledged daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, as well as his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson and other family members. The process of coming forward with such a claim typically involves careful consideration and often professional legal advice. Individuals contemplating such action must weigh the potential benefits of learning the truth about their parentage against the certain costs of public exposure and media attention. Many people in similar situations choose to pursue private resolution rather than public confrontation, seeking answers through less visible legal channels. When examining historical precedents for such claims, it becomes clear that the royal family has faced similar challenges in the past, though perhaps not with the same level of media scrutiny that exists today. The modern information environment makes it virtually impossible for such stories to remain contained or managed through traditional palace communication strategies. The role of social media in amplifying and spreading such claims cannot be underestimated. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok allow information and speculation to reach global audiences within hours, creating pressure for rapid responses and making traditional crisis management approaches less effective. Online communities can form around such stories, conducting their own investigations and analysis that may or may not be accurate, but nevertheless influence public perception. The institutional response to such claims typically involves a careful balance between protecting individual privacy rights and responding to legitimate public interest. For the royal family, this balance is particularly delicate because of their unique position as both private individuals and public figures supported by taxpayer funding. The public's right to know about matters that might affect the line of succession or the integrity of the monarchy must be weighed against personal privacy considerations. Media organizations face their own ethical challenges when covering such stories. Responsible journalism requires verification of claims and careful consideration of the potential harm that coverage might cause to all parties involved. The competitive nature of modern media, however, can create pressure to publish stories quickly, sometimes without adequate verification or consideration of consequences. The financial implications of proven paternity claims involving royal family members are significant and complex. Questions about inheritance rights, trust fund access, and ongoing financial support could all come into play, creating legal challenges that might take years to resolve. The precedent set by how such matters are handled could influence similar situations in the future. The international dimension of such stories also creates additional complications. Media coverage in different countries may be subject to different legal standards and cultural expectations, making it difficult to control the narrative or manage public perception globally. What might be considered responsible reporting in one jurisdiction could be seen as invasive or inappropriate in another. The psychological support available to individuals making such claims is often inadequate for the challenges they face. The combination of media attention, legal complexity, and family dynamics can create enormous stress that requires professional intervention. Unfortunately, the public nature of such disputes often makes it difficult to access appropriate support without further exposure. The impact on existing family relationships cannot be ignored when considering such claims. For Prince Andrew's acknowledged daughters, the emergence of a potential half-sibling would raise complex emotional and practical questions about family dynamics, inheritance, and public perception. The way such revelations are handled can either strengthen or damage existing relationships within the family. The broader implications for the monarchy as an institution extend beyond the immediate family involved. Public confidence in the royal family depends partly on perceptions of their integrity and transparency. Revelations about hidden relationships or covered-up scandals can undermine this confidence and fuel broader questions about the relevance and accountability of the monarchy in modern democratic society. Historical analysis of similar situations suggests that the long-term impact of such revelations often depends more on how they are handled than on the initial facts themselves. Honest acknowledgement and appropriate response can sometimes strengthen public trust, while attempts at cover-up or denial often cause more lasting damage to reputation and credibility. The legal precedents established by how such cases are resolved may influence future situations involving not only the royal family, but other public figures facing similar claims. The balance struck between privacy rights and public accountability could have implications that extend far beyond the immediate case at hand. As speculation and claims continue to circulate, the pressure builds not only on Prince Andrew, but on the entire royal family to address questions about transparency, accountability, and the extent to which their private lives remain subject to public scrutiny. The resolution of such matters may well define how the monarchy adapts to the challenges of maintaining relevance and legitimacy in an increasingly transparent and connected world. The moment when speculation transforms into scientific certainty represents a fundamental shift in any paternity dispute. When DNA testing becomes involved in cases concerning public figures, particularly members of the royal family, the stakes extend far beyond personal relationships to encompass questions of institutional credibility, legal precedent, and public trust. The process of conducting such tests, interpreting their results, and managing their aftermath involves complex considerations that touch on law, science, media relations, and human psychology. Modern DNA testing for paternity determination has reached levels of accuracy that were unimaginable just a few decades ago. Current testing methods can establish biological relationships with confidence levels exceeding 99.9%, effectively eliminating reasonable doubt about genetic connections. This scientific precision has transformed legal proceedings involving paternity claims, making it increasingly difficult for disputed relationships to remain unresolved indefinitely. The actual process of DNA collection and analysis follows strict protocols designed to ensure accuracy and prevent contamination or manipulation. Samples are typically collected using simple cheek swabs, though other biological materials can be used when necessary. Chain of custody procedures must be meticulously maintained throughout the testing process to ensure that results would be admissible in legal proceedings and credible to the public. When high-profile individuals are involved in DNA testing, additional security measures often become necessary. Testing facilities may need to implement enhanced protocols to protect the confidentiality of samples and results, while also ensuring that the integrity of the scientific process is maintained. The involvement of legal representatives, independent witnesses, and accredited laboratories helps establish the credibility of results and reduces the possibility of disputes about testing procedures. The timeline for DNA testing can vary depending on the complexity of the case and the specific tests required. Standard paternity tests typically produce results within a few days to a week, though more complex genetic analysis might take longer. During this waiting period, all parties involved must cope with intense uncertainty, while media speculation and public interest continue to build. For individuals claiming to be the biological children of public figures, the period between testing and results represents a unique form of psychological stress. Years or even decades of uncertainty about their parentage suddenly focus into a few days of scientific analysis that will definitively answer questions that have shaped their entire identity. The possibility of being wrong carries its own emotional burden, as does the prospect of being proven correct and facing the life changes that such confirmation would bring. The legal implications of positive DNA results in cases involving royal family members extend far beyond simple acknowledgement of biological relationships. Questions about inheritance rights, succession laws, and financial obligations immediately come into focus. Legal experts would need to examine whether biological children not previously acknowledged have any claims to titles, property, or financial support, and how such claims might be pursued through the courts. The constitutional implications of proven paternity claims involving senior royals could be particularly complex. While Prince Andrew is not in the direct line of succession to the throne, any biological children he might have could potentially have claims that would need to be evaluated under existing inheritance laws and royal protocols. The precedent set by how such matters are handled could influence similar situations in the future. Media management during the testing period presents enormous challenges for all parties involved. Traditional approaches to crisis communications often prove inadequate when dealing with scientific processes that will produce definitive results regardless of public relations strategies. The temptation to attempt damage control or narrative management must be balanced against the reality that DNA results cannot be spun or reinterpreted once they are obtained. International media attention adds another layer of complexity to the management of such situations. Different countries have varying legal standards for privacy protection and media coverage, making it virtually impossible to control information flow or manage public perception globally. What might be considered responsible restraint in one jurisdiction could be seen as excessive secrecy in another. The role of social media in amplifying every development during the testing period cannot be overstated. Online platforms allow speculation, analysis, and commentary to reach global audiences instantly, creating an environment where rumors and theories can spread faster than official information. This dynamic puts additional pressure on all parties to respond quickly to developments, sometimes before they have had adequate time to consider their options carefully. The scientific credibility of DNA testing has made it increasingly difficult for public figures to dispute results through traditional means. Unlike other types of evidence that might be subject to interpretation or challenge, genetic analysis provides objective data that is difficult to refute. This reality has forced a shift in how such disputes are managed, with greater emphasis on accepting results and managing their implications, rather than challenging their validity. The emotional impact of DNA results extends beyond the immediate parties to affect entire families and networks of relationships. For Prince Andrew's acknowledged daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie, the confirmation of a half-sibling would raise complex questions about family dynamics, public perception, and their own roles within the royal family structure. The way such revelations are handled can either strengthen or damage existing family relationships. The financial implications of proven paternity claims can be substantial and long-lasting. Beyond immediate questions about child support or financial assistance, there may be broader considerations about inheritance rights, trust fund access, and ongoing financial obligations. Legal proceedings to resolve such matters can take years and involve significant costs for all parties involved. The institutional response from Buckingham Palace and other royal household offices would need to balance multiple competing interests and considerations. protecting the privacy and dignity of all family members, must be weighed against public interest and the need for transparency. The precedent set by official responses could influence how similar situations are handled in the future and affect public confidence in the monarchy's integrity. The broader public reaction to confirmed paternity claims involving royal family members typically reflects existing attitudes toward the monarchy and expectations about accountability from public figures. Those who are generally supportive of the royal family might be more inclined to view such revelations as private family matters, while critics might see them as evidence of broader problems with transparency and responsibility within the institution. Professional counseling and psychological support become crucial during this period for all parties affected by the revelations. The combination of media attention, legal complexity, and family dynamics creates stress levels that can be overwhelming without appropriate professional intervention. Unfortunately, the public nature of such disputes often makes it difficult to access such support without attracting additional unwanted attention. The precedent established by how DNA results are handled in high-profile cases can influence similar situations involving other public figures. Legal scholars and media ethicists closely watch such cases to understand how existing laws and professional standards apply in practice and whether new guidelines or regulations might be needed to address emerging challenges. The long-term implications for the monarchy as an institution depend partly on how effectively such situations are managed and resolved. Public confidence in the royal family relies on perceptions of integrity, transparency, and appropriate accountability. How well these values are demonstrated during crisis periods can significantly influence the monarchy's future legitimacy and public support. The international dimensions of such stories create additional challenges for crisis management and public relations. Media coverage and public opinion in different countries may vary significantly, making it difficult to develop coherent communication strategies that work effectively across all relevant jurisdictions and cultural contexts. The verification process for DNA results in high-profile cases, often involves multiple independent laboratories to ensure accuracy and prevent any suggestion of tampering or error. This redundancy adds time to the overall process, but provides additional confidence in the final results. Legal teams typically insist on such measures when the stakes are as high as they would be in a case involving the royal family. The psychological preparation required for receiving DNA results cannot be underestimated. For individuals who have spent their entire lives wondering about their biological parentage, the moment of scientific confirmation represents a fundamental shift in their understanding of their own identity. Professional counselors who specialize in family reunification and identity issues often recommend extensive preparation for this moment, regardless of what the results might reveal. The technical aspects of DNA analysis have become increasingly sophisticated, with modern testing capable of detecting genetic relationships with extraordinary precision. Advanced testing can not only confirm or deny paternity, but can also provide information about broader genetic heritage and family connections. This level of detail can be both illuminating and overwhelming for individuals learning about their biological background for the first time. The chain of custody protocols for DNA samples in high-profile cases typically involve multiple witnesses, video documentation, and secure transportation procedures. These measures are designed to ensure that results cannot be challenged on procedural grounds, and that all parties can have confidence in the integrity of the testing process. Legal admissibility requires strict adherence to established protocols that can withstand scrutiny in court proceedings. The role of independent legal representation becomes crucial during the testing phase, as each party's interests may not align perfectly with those of others involved. Individuals claiming paternity need advocates who understand both family law and the unique challenges posed by cases involving public figures. Similarly, established family members require legal counsel that can protect their existing rights and interests while navigating the complexities of potential new family relationships. The media strategy during the waiting period for results often involves a delicate balance between maintaining public interest and avoiding premature speculation that could prove embarrassing if results contradict expectations. Experienced crisis communications professionals recommend limiting public statements during this phase, while preparing comprehensive response strategies for different possible outcomes. The scientific literacy of the general public plays a significant role in how DNA results are received and understood. Media coverage must often include explanations of testing procedures, accuracy rates, and the meaning of statistical confidence levels to help audiences properly interpret the significance of results. Misunderstanding of scientific concepts can lead to continued speculation, even after definitive results are obtained. The international legal implications of confirmed paternity claims involving British royals could extend beyond domestic law to affect relationships with Commonwealth countries and other nations, where the British monarchy serves as head of state. Constitutional scholars in multiple countries might need to examine how such revelations could affect existing legal frameworks and ceremonial relationships. The impact on charitable organizations and patronages associated with Prince Andrew would likely be immediate and significant. Many institutions prefer to avoid any association with controversy, leading to potential withdrawal of support or formal severing of relationships. This secondary effect can have lasting consequences for both the organizations involved and the royal family members' future public role. The precedent-setting nature of how such a situation is handled extends beyond the immediate case to influence future royal protocols and procedures. Palace officials must consider not only the current situation, but also how their responses might affect the monarchy's ability to handle similar challenges in the future. The balance between transparency and privacy established in one case often becomes the template for subsequent situations. The role of forensic genealogy and advanced genetic testing techniques has expanded significantly in recent years, making it possible to establish biological relationships even in complex cases involving distant relatives or limited genetic material. These advances have made it increasingly difficult for biological relationships to remain hidden permanently, creating new challenges for public figures who may have previously believed such secrets were safe. The psychological support systems available to all parties during this process often prove inadequate for the unique stresses involved. Traditional family therapy approaches may not address the specific challenges posed by media attention, legal complexity, and public scrutiny. Specialized professionals who understand the intersection of family dynamics and public exposure become essential resources during such periods. The economic implications extend beyond immediate legal costs to include potential impacts on royal family commercial interests, tourism revenue, and broader economic effects associated with royal activities. Studies have shown that royal scandals can have measurable effects on everything from palace visitor numbers to international perceptions of British institutions. The cultural and historical significance of such revelations must also be considered within the broader context of changing attitudes toward monarchy, family structures, and personal accountability. Social historians note that public expectations of royal family members have evolved significantly over recent decades, with greater emphasis on transparency and personal responsibility than was traditionally expected. The educational aspects of such cases often extend to broader public understanding of genetics, family law, and constitutional principles. Media coverage frequently includes explanatory content that helps audiences understand complex legal and scientific concepts, potentially raising overall public literacy in these important areas. As DNA results become available and their implications begin to be understood, all parties involved must navigate the transition from speculation to confirmed fact. This shift requires new strategies for managing public communication, legal obligations, and family relationships that acknowledge the changed reality, while protecting the interests and dignity of everyone affected by the revelations. The long-term success of this navigation often determines not only the immediate outcomes, but also the lasting impact on all parties' reputations and relationships. The resolution of high-profile paternity claims involving members of the royal family inevitably raises fundamental questions that extend far beyond the immediate circumstances of any single case. These broader implications touch on constitutional principles, democratic accountability, privacy rights, and the evolving relationship between traditional institutions and modern society. Understanding these wider ramifications requires examining how such revelations might reshape public expectations, legal frameworks, and institutional practices in ways that could influence governance and social structures for generations to come. The constitutional dimensions of confirmed paternity claims involving senior royals present complex challenges that legal scholars and constitutional experts must carefully analyze. While Prince Andrew is not in the direct line of succession, any biological children he might have could potentially raise questions about inheritance laws, noble titles, and the broader principles that govern royal succession. The precedents established in handling such cases could influence how similar situations are addressed in the future and might even prompt legislative reviews of existing succession laws. The democratic accountability aspects of such revelations highlight the tension between personal privacy and public responsibility that characterizes the modern monarchy. Members of the royal family receive significant public funding and enjoy privileges that are justified partly by their service to the nation and their adherence to certain standards of conduct. When questions arise about hidden relationships or undisclosed responsibilities, the public naturally seeks explanations that reconcile these privileges with appropriate levels of transparency and accountability. The legal framework surrounding royal family members' private lives has evolved significantly over recent decades, but remains complex and sometimes contradictory. Courts must balance competing interests, including privacy rights, freedom of information principles, and the public interest in understanding how taxpayer-funded institutions operate. The resolution of paternity claims could establish new precedents that influence how these competing interests are balanced in future cases. The international implications of such revelations extend beyond British domestic law to affect relationships with Commonwealth countries and other nations, where the British monarch serves as head of state. Constitutional arrangements that have developed over centuries assume certain understandings about royal family structures and relationships. Significant changes to these understandings could require examination of existing agreements and protocols that govern international relationships. The technological dimension of modern paternity disputes cannot be ignored when considering broader implications. Advances in genetic testing, data storage, and information sharing have made it increasingly difficult for biological relationships to remain hidden indefinitely. Public figures, including royal family members, must now operate with the understanding that genetic evidence can surface years or decades after events occur, fundamentally changing the risk calculations involved in personal decisions. The media landscape that surrounds such revelations has also evolved dramatically, creating new challenges for traditional crisis management approaches. Social media platforms allow information and speculation to spread globally within hours, while traditional media outlets compete to provide comprehensive coverage of developing stories. This environment makes it virtually impossible to control information flow or manage public perception through conventional public relations strategies. The psychological and emotional implications for all family members affected by such revelations extend far beyond the immediate parties involved. Existing children must confront questions about their family structure and public identity, while spouses and former spouses face renewed scrutiny of their past relationships and decisions. The ripple effects of such disclosures can influence family dynamics for years and potentially affect multiple generations. The economic implications of confirmed paternity claims involving royal family members can be substantial and long-lasting. Beyond immediate legal costs and potential financial settlements, there may be broader effects on royal family commercial interests, tourism revenue, and international perceptions of British institutions. Studies have shown that royal scandals can have measurable economic impacts that extend well beyond the immediate parties involved. The precedent-setting nature of how such situations are handled affects not only future royal family cases, but also broader questions about how democratic societies balance privacy rights with accountability for public figures. The standards established in high-profile cases often influence expectations for politicians, celebrities, and other individuals who receive public funding or enjoy significant public influence. The cultural and historical significance of such revelations must be understood within the broader context of changing social attitudes toward family structures, personal responsibility, and institutional transparency. Public expectations of royal family members have evolved significantly over recent decades, with greater emphasis on personal accountability and ethical behavior than was traditionally required or expected. The educational aspects of such cases often contribute to broader public understanding of legal principles, scientific concepts, and constitutional arrangements. Media coverage typically includes explanatory content that helps audiences understand complex issues, including inheritance law, genetic testing procedures, and the constitutional role of the monarchy. This educational dimension can have lasting benefits for democratic participation and civic engagement. The role of independent oversight and accountability mechanisms becomes crucial when dealing with cases that involve both personal privacy and public interest. Traditional approaches to royal family crisis management may prove inadequate when dealing with situations that require balancing competing legal and ethical principles. New frameworks for independent review and public accountability may be necessary to maintain public confidence in institutional integrity. The long-term implications for the monarchy as an institution depend significantly on how effectively such challenges are addressed and resolved. Public support for the royal family relies partly on perceptions of integrity, transparency, and appropriate responsiveness to legitimate public concerns. The way such cases are handled can either strengthen or undermine the monarchy's future legitimacy and social relevance. The international perspective on British royal family controversies often reflects broader attitudes toward monarchy, democracy, and institutional accountability. How such cases are perceived internationally can affect Britain's soft power and diplomatic relationships, particularly with countries that have complex historical relationships with the British Crown. The generational dimension of public attitudes toward such revelations also deserves consideration. Younger audiences often have different expectations about transparency and accountability than older generations, and their attitudes may significantly influence the long-term viability of traditional institutional approaches to crisis management. The technological and scientific advances that make modern paternity testing possible continue to evolve rapidly, creating new possibilities and challenges for the future. Genetic genealogy techniques are becoming increasingly sophisticated, while data storage and sharing technologies make it easier for information to be preserved and accessed over long periods. These developments suggest that the challenges posed by undisclosed biological relationships may become more common rather than less so in the years ahead. As society continues to grapple with questions about privacy, accountability, and institutional transparency, the way such cases are resolved will likely influence broader discussions about the role of traditional institutions in modern democratic society. The precedents established today may well determine how similar challenges are addressed for decades to come, making careful consideration of long-term implications essential for all parties involved.